Hi, I'm Eden Casteel of Eden Casteel Music Studio. A question I get asked a lot is, how much should I practice, or how much should my child practice? It depends on what the goal is. If the goal is to become a world-class performer with a Tony or an Oscar or starring at the Met, then you're going to need the Malcolm Gladwell level of practice, that 10,000 hours. But I know most people aren't asking that. They're asking, how much do I need to practice in order to see a reasonable amount of progress? And they also ask, well, should it be an hour per day, sitting down at the same time every day? That's not how I practice. I practice all the time. And so it's just become kind of the fabric of my life. I practice little bits of music when I'm folding laundry. I practice along with my students, and I'm listening to myself when I'm listening with them. I sing in the car, I sing in the shower, I'm humming, and I'm thinking about music all the time. But it all counts as practice. So what I tell students is that over the course of a day, every time you're checking in with how your voice is doing, that is a form of practice. When you're talking to somebody in the hall and you make an effort to not shout or scream, right? That counts as developing your voice, especially if it happens many, many times over the course of a day. When you're in choir and you're practicing some of the things that you've been doing in lesson, even in the middle of having your choir music open, that counts as practice. Now, there is definitely a place for sitting down with your music and looking it over. But if that's not the kind of thing that makes you happy, then you don't have to emphasize that. Instead, practice all those other ways. Sing in the car, sing in the shower, make silly sounds all day long, play with your kids or your grandkids. As far as piano is concerned, those same rules apply. I'm a firm believer in air piano. Having your fingers on something and practicing that skill, that does add up to practice time. Humming your melodies, using the Harold Hill Think system, that all counts as practice. So, should you practice for an hour a day? You should practice more than that. You should be thinking about music happily all day long, about the melodies that you're learning, the songs you want to learn. It should just be part of the fabric of your life. If you would prefer to have a more formal practice time, then absolutely do it, but I wouldn't make it an hour. I would make it more like for 15, 20 minutes, and then go and do something else, and then come back later and do another 15 or 20 minutes. Now, if you're having so much fun sitting down at the piano and playing that you realize an hour has gone by and you didn't even know, that's okay too. But if you're not the kind of person who can sit for an hour and be happy practicing, you don't have to. The goal is not to become better at practicing. The goal is to become better at music. And if you can do it in a different way, go ahead.